Rebecca. You can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as EvilTwin2. You can find our show notes at owlknitwithyou.blogspot.com. You can find the Ravelry group on Ravelry under owlknitwithyou. Or you can email me at owlknitwithyou@gmail.com. And that's all of them. I've said that 3 times now. How are you guys? How are my owls and my yous? To all my not old. You're not old. I'm not old. No one's old. Old is a number. To all my viewers, hello and welcome back. And to all my new viewers, thank you for checking out my podcast today. And I hope you enjoy it. I've got a lot to talk about. I'm recording this on Monday. It's about 6 p.m. I don't know when I'll get this out to you, which I will explain in a minute. First, let's talk about our new Franz. The new Franz are people who have introduced themselves in the introduction thread in the Ravelry group. So here we go. We have Agile Knitter, who is Leah from Tennessee. I almost said Kentucky, but I'm looking at a T and an N, so I know it's not Kentucky. We have Jinsta79, who is Jenny from the UK. We have Casey Marie, who is Casey from Texas. And then I looked up how to say this because it's a word from a different language. So I think it's Waiapu, who is Rhonda from Pennsylvania. So welcome, welcome, welcome. No, I said that already. Yeah, introduce yourselves. I like talking to you all. I got a few of these through direct message. If you want to do that, that's fine too. I do prefer if you introduce yourself in the thread though, because then everyone else can say hey, or if they think they've heard of you before, they can go check that out. Also, over in the Ravelry group is the wow, my mind is like not here. I haven't had coffee at all today. It's already 6:30 p.m., so it's too late. That ship has sailed. But other threads in the Ravelry group are Strut Your Puffs, where you can show off your awesome Hexie Puffs, because I love to knit Hexie Puffs. I need to take some new pictures and put them in there. Or you can check out the Hey, I'm a Podcaster too thread. And there you can see all the people in our group who podcast. Or if you're a podcaster, go put your podcast there so everyone can check it out. I love going through there and seeing everyone's stuff. And that way it's so much easier because people tell me, oh, I do a podcast too. And then it kind of just gets lost in all the conversations on Ravelry. But with that, I can be like, okay, this person I haven't watched, this person I need to check out, this person I love, so I'm going to watch the new episode. It's fantastic. And oh my gosh, guys, it's been 2 weeks and so much has happened in 2 weeks. I would like to first off apologize for any music you can hear. Every time I've tried to plan to record, when I actually was going to end up to be able to record, someone has been rocking out in the gym downstairs, which good for them. Go exercise, have fun. But I try to keep that out of my podcast. It's just kind of unavoidable sometimes. So you might hear that today, and I'm so sorry. So I've been doing promotions at my job. It's the same job, new position, but it means I get to make my hours, which is both good and bad, because I can get there when I want and leave within a range and leave within a range. But sometimes this girl who likes to stay up late tries not to stay up so late and then ends up going to work later than she'd want, so staying later than she would want. That girl is me. But that's alright. I'm still adjusting to my schedule, I guess is how I should say it. So last weekend I was actually going to record on Monday when I came back from visiting my friend. But that turned out to be the first day of term, because the first day of Harry Potter Knit Crochet House Cup term starts on the first day of the month. And after my August dry spell, I needed to knit. Like, you don't understand how badly that needed to happen. But it all worked out okay. I'm really rosy today because I have my AC off and I shut my windows so you guys can hear street noise. So I'm just a little Christmas glowy, you know. It's not sunburn, I'm just like kind of warm. But it's all good. So when I visited my friend Jessica, oh my gosh, we had so much Japanese fun. And by that I mean the first day we were there, we went and got sushi. We went to a place called Rocket Fizz, which is a soda shop in St. Louis that's pretty new. They have all sorts of weird flavors of soda. And I bought the weird flavors of soda before, and they're kind of like getting Bertie Bott's every flavor jelly bean. Some of them are great, and some of them are disgusting. I had peanut butter, which was disgusting, and then I had like, I got a butter beer this time, and it was kind of just like cream soda. So, but then I also had a s'mores one, and that one blew my mind. But they also have candy from around the world, and one thing that I've been internet Googling, since that was a thing, are these things called Poppin' Cookin' or Crazy's Poppin' Cookin', or there's a bunch of different brands, and some of them are candy and some of them are inedible, but of course the ones they're selling there are going to be candy because it's in the candy section. And what you do is you get this package, here's mine, you get this package of just powders and envelopes, or sometimes sprinkles and stuff like that, but 90% of it is powder, and there's a plastic thing that you mix with. So you do that, and it ends up, from this powder, becoming candy. Now, I wouldn't eat that every day, but it's really fun to do, and I've been wanting to do them forever. I will link to a couple of my favorite videos in the show notes, because I literally get bored and I watch these on the internet, because it's just like watching magic happen, because this food is coming out of powder. It's crazy. So we did that, and we also went to a Japanese festival at the Missouri Botanical Gardens, which was awesome. I thought it was just going to be flowers, but there were a lot of vendors selling anime stuff and all of the food there. There's a bunch of like a food truck area that was all Japanese food. A lot of people were in kimonos, like totally legit stuff. It was so awesome and beautiful, and it of course rained as soon as we got there, but we ended up seeing some really cool stuff, and we saw them put paper lanterns out into the lake, which you can't get a good picture of at night, because if you use flash you get nothing, and if you take a picture without flash you get nothing. So that's just what it is. I'm using the lamps right now because the sun has started to set early, because I guess summer is over, which kind of forgot about that. Did not factor that into my schedule for today. But we'll work with it. I'll color correct. It'll be good. It'll be good. I'll just have this weird shadow behind my head, which I cannot really avoid. So you can like leave it out, but that's no good. So this past week, after my Japanese, everything's amazing. I came back, and this week's been a little bit rougher, I should say. My AC went out for a couple of days on like the last hot day of summer, of course, and or I guess the first hot day of fall. Which one is it? I don't know. So it was like 86 degrees in my house, but the guy came to fix it within 24 hours. My landlord is never on top of it. I was so impressed. It made me so happy. And then, of course, the next day it was cold enough to turn the AC off, and I haven't had it on since it got fixed. But, you know, at least it works. So when I need it, it's there. That's the point, right? I have to pay to get it fixed, you know? That's part of my rent. So, I mean, it's all good stuff. Then a couple days later, as in this weekend, when I was going to record the second time, I got distracted by the fact that my internet had gone over its allotted usage, which didn't used to be a thing, but Mediacom did this like last year, I think. And I somehow used 300 gigs of data in 2 days when I normally average 175. I have not done anything different. I have not started torrenting 1.5 million things, which is legally downloading for those of you who are good people and don't know that. So I don't know what happened, but I have super securely locked down my internet. But it also means I can't upload my podcast from home. I have to take it to work and upload it. So that means I have to tack on a day, because I usually record it after work. So that means an extra day to get it out there. So you guys might be getting this on Tuesday or Wednesday. And I am so sorry. I just don't really have another way to get around it, because I can't pay $10 for every episode I upload. That would be awful. Because it's $10 for every 50 gigs after that. And I already blew through one of those within that 24 hours of me using 300 gigs. So something got on my computer, or someone got in my internet and really messed it up for me. So that kind of sucks. But, you know, c'est la vie. Bad stuff happens. It wasn't like it was $1,000. So I've just kind of disconnected anything that could be potentially harming. And I'm going to have the month of DVDs. So I'm borrowing DVDs from my friends, I'm going through my DVD collection, I'm borrowing DVDs from my boyfriend, and I'm just going to watch tons of DVDs this month, you know. I bought these all at one point, or a lot of them, and I watched them one time, and I haven't, my hair is all over the place today, it's been awful. But you know, nowadays you pop on Netflix. I've even watched DVDs I own on Netflix because I'm too lazy to get them out. That's ridiculous. So I'm going to be doing that. My brother left some anime DVDs here, so I'm going to watch that. So I'm going to try not to watch anything more than once, and I'm going to see how much I can get through. So probably by the end of the month, I will have a list for you guys of all the things that I was able to watch, because that's the kind of thing I would like to keep track of. It'll probably be embarrassingly long, but I sit and I knit and turn on some TV, and that's just how I do it. So that's all the thing. That's all things that have happened this week, this past 2 weeks. I sound a little tired. I am a little tired. I've just been really exhausted, and I think the AC plus the internet plus a couple other things is just kind of wearing me down. So I'm trying to keep my motivation high. I'm trying to be happy, and if you think happy, you are happy, which sounds really dumb, but I was having a conversation with someone who's in a really bad place, and I'm just like, listen, you know, you're not somewhere that no one's ever been before. Everyone's, you know, had that day or two, or maybe a month or two, or maybe a year or two where they weren't able to get a job, or bad health, or parents sick, or siblings sick, or grandparents sick, or people in the hospital that you love. Everyone's gone through breakups. Anything that you're experiencing, no matter how specific it may seem, somebody has survived that already. And if they can do it, then I can do it. And a lot of it is just where you're at mentally. So if mentally you're just like, you know what, today really sucked, but I have my knitting, I have my friends, or if your house burned down and you don't have knitting anymore, you can say, you know, I still have my memories. I still have this. And if you don't have memories, you're amnesia, you can say, I have a whole new life. I have a whole new beginning. So there's always a silver lining. You just have to sometimes get your magnifying glass out to see it. And you should just try and be happy, because if you feel happy, people will want to be around you, and that'll make you happy. When you're really negative, people don't want to be around you, and then you get depressed. So let's just avoid that. Let's just avoid, as we get into this fall-winter season, and people with, I know it spells the word sad, and I always, seasonal affective disorder, that starts to come out. My mom has a touch of that, so I probably do too, enough that it affects our family chemistry sometimes. You know, that's just kind of stuff that you gotta say, listen, you know, let's just be a little perkier, because it's not gonna hurt anyone. So, wow, random tangent forever and everness. Let's go do some knitting, shall we? I'm still holding my iPad, I'm just fiddling with it. I'm so sorry. So that's just a whole lot of blather for you. So let's move on to Blobbins, because everything that starts with B should be right next to each other. I have been spinning. I missed crafting so much, and the whole break month of... Okay, for those of you who are new, I participate in the Harry Potter Knit Crochet House Cup, and it's basically where you earn points for knitting towards every 3 months. You total up all your points, and everyone else in your house, so like Gryffindor, Slytherin, Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff, tally up all their points, and then someone wins the House Cup, and it means nothing. It is just an internet title. It doesn't award you something. You don't get discounts on anything. It just is what it is. But it's really hard to knit when you know you're not getting points for it. So I kind of took a month off of knitting because I didn't feel like I could do anything until Harry Potter Knit Crochet House Cup started back up. So since it has started, I have cast on everything. I've started everything. I'm doing everything. And I'm so happy with it. So let's get the show on the road. You're saying, Rebecca, I want to see what you're spinning. And I say, I will show you what I'm spinning. So here is one thing I'm spinning. I got this wool at the Iowa Sheep and Wool Festival. It is actually 3 different colors. There is a purple, a navy, and a green. You can see on the tail what kind of colors they started off of. There's just mint green, which is almost white, a purple, and then this really dark navy that you're seeing all over the yarn. And it's a really cool thing. They're like strips of fabric that are all just next to each other, and you just spin them as one. So it's doing a lot of barber pulling without me having to, thank you for honking someone, without me having to ply it. It's already barber pulling. So I'm going to do a 2-ply of this, and I am so excited to see how that comes out. Like double barber pulling, kind of triple barber pulling. I love barber pulling anyway, so this will be super fun. I believe it's just about 3 ounces, maybe 3.2 or 3.5, but I know it's not 4 ounces of stuff that I have. This is a little less than half of it. So it's not going to be very much yarn, but it's a good way to get back into spinning, because I haven't been spinning for, you know, a month. So my legs are kind of getting back to the rhythm, and you kind of get off your groove a little bit when you're not doing something. So this is how this is going, and that's exciting. So the sun is almost set, and my colors are everywhere, and I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. So that's the spinning. My chair is speaking. That's the spinning that I've been doing. I really like how it's going. This stuff is super already drafted out, so it's drafting amazingly, which makes it spin super fast. It was a really good way to get back into spinning because I have been doing arc bats, which are a lot of texture and a lot of drafting for me. So at least the ones that I have. And so this has been a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it. La 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 la. I would love to spin my 1 pound monster green fiber that I just dyed all in 1 month for points. So we will see if that will happen in the next 3 months, 2.5, 2-ish months. We'll say 2+ months. So that's going. Now on to woes and woes. I have a lot of whips right now, you guys. So that's what woes and woes are. They're whips. So one thing that I have are my socks for 10. This this needs to go over here. Sorry. This pattern is by Java Pearl Designs, who is Cece from Geeky Girls Knit. So I very, you kind of have to put it in something. So, what? That didn't make any sense. Okay, so I won a prize from the Geeky Girls Knit podcast, and it was this bag. So that's where I have my socks, because they just need to all be together, you know? They're like, oh, Cece, I've missed you. And the bag is like, oh, Rebecca, socks, I missed you too. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm sorry. I'm losing my mind. I need coffee. So here's my first sock. It is incredible. This pattern is perfect. Everyone should go buy it and start knitting it right now. Seriously, I love this pattern. It's really fun. There's a lot of squishy, stretchy rib. That didn't make sense. But there is. So, and then there's this great detail on the side that goes down the whole foot. And these socks are just fantastic. This yarn is Lorna's Laces in the Rockaway colorway. Rock something with the word rock in it. And it is not meant to stripe, but look at it. It is so striping right now. It's like, oops, sorry, guess I'm striping. Oops, my bad. But this is my first sock, which you guys have seen before, finished. And here is my second sock. So I'm about at halfway, since this was all squished together. I showed you the first one so you can see the design. About halfway on this sock. So I'm hoping for it to be detention at the beginning of next month. Detention in the Harry Potter Knit Crochet House Cup means that it's a project you started before this month that you're finishing up, because it has all your projects have to be done within the month they're submitted, unless you're doing something special. Detention is something special. So that's my first whip. Yeah, just one of many to come. So I am knitting a kitten. You're going to hear me say it a lot, so I'm just going to say it now. In the Harry Potter Knit Crochet House Cup, not only do you do classes, but you also do Quidditch. And Dolores Umbridge has come and canceled Quidditch, that jerk. So we all are knitting gifts for her to appease her. This is the beginning of a cat. I know it just looks like a pink tube right now, but it will soon be a pink kitten, which I will probably give to one of my adorable cousins. Probably the one that's a girl and a baby. No spoilers there. But this is out of some yarn that I had actually bought for her anyway. I made a little baby outfit with it. It is Knit Picks Brava Sport in the seashell colorway, and I'm using size 4 needles. Yes, size 4. Also Knit Picks needles, because I use Knit Picks for everything except for my socks for 10. So that is going awesome. So far it's just a tube, not very exciting yet, but soon I will do a bunch of decreases, and we'll have a body, and then we'll have a head, and then I'll seam up the bottom, and maybe I'll have a cat for you by next week. So we will see. We will see. I don't know yet. So my next whip, I will not show you what bag it's in yet, because I can't talk about this yet. I will talk about it by the end of the episode. I'm just not talking about it yet. So I am knitting the Easy Leaves scarf for a Christmas present kind of thing. So many stitches. And I'm knitting this on Menace del Moray. The yarn is in my stash. I'm knitting it on size 17 needles, and you'll soon see why. And this yarn is awesome. I don't know what the colorway is called, but here it is. And you can see this lace pattern is not easy to see right now. It looks very clumpy. It's kind of hard to tell what's going on. If you stretch it out, let me do this. Come on. There we go. You can see it then. It's kind of hard to see if I hold it against the bar. Maybe not. It's kind of hard to see the lace pattern. It just is. So I'm hoping that blocking it out will help you see a lot of that. And if not, I might have to scrap the whole thing. But I think it's going to work. I can see it here. Like, from this distance, it looks like I can see it fine. So I'm hoping that from that distance, it'll still look fine. But it's that's hard to show you. So I've done one whole ball of yarn already. One whole cake, if you will. Cake of yarn. So I still have one more cake to go. Right now, it's moderate scarf length, so it just hits my waist. It's enough to go around, but it's not like crazy long. Normally this scarf wouldn't be this long, but I am using size 17 needles, so everything is just bigger than it should be. So this is just under 200 yards too, so this is a surprising distance. You can see it goes all the way down to here. So we'll see if this all works out. I don't know. It's going to be a really big scarf, really wide scarf. We'll see. Time will tell. Put things onto my table while I talk to you guys. That's okay. You're not offended. I started my 3-in-1 cardigan that I've been talking about forever. I got my first. There's going to be a lot of chair squeaking here. I got my first section done, which is this dark green. It's really hard to see, and this white gray. I swear I didn't pick out colors based on what my camera would need to see, obviously. So for the first section, it is striped, right? We got our green and gray striped, and this is to represent Slytherin, because if you're gonna go Harry Potter, go all the way out, right? Rock it like you know what you're doing. So I did finish my Fit to Flatter class on Craftsy that I started, which I may or may not have told you about. It was awesome and very helpful, and I have an entire whiteboard full of measurement adjustments I have to make while knitting this. So it's like, add 2 to waist, take off 2 to this, make the hem this much wider, and add this much to the bust, and take off this much, and make your neckline this deep. So it's been a lot of math, but I think that the sweater itself is going to be a lot more wearable because I'll want to wear something that fits me really well. So this is the first part, and then you do the bottom part like several times. So, which I don't think I'm giving anything away there. So here's my next bottom part. It is about ready to join with this one, but not quite yet. And you might be thinking, what the heck kind of sweater is this, Rebecca? Well, as it progresses, you will see. It's a very interesting looking sweater. So just calm down. Look at there. So these are the 3 colors that I'm on. I also have a dark gray and a red, which I cannot hold all in one hand like this because I'm holding it with my hand. So that didn't make any sense. Oh my gosh. My brain is so dead today. So hopefully this will be a little bit less wadded up next time and a little bit more sweater-like. So we will see. This is for my OWL, or my owl, in the Harry Potter Knit Crochet House steps, because why knit if you can't knit for points, right? I have 3 months to complete it, but I'm hoping to be done with the half of the body and 2 sleeves by the time we get to October 1st. And so far so good, so we'll see. Sorry. So far so good, and we'll see. I think I can do it. So I've been knitting on it while I've been home, and now home involves DVD watching, so I don't see why not, right? So, is that all my whips? Those are all my whips. Now for something you guys haven't seen for quite a while. Defeated foes. Defeated foes are my FOs that I have totally conquered. So the first one is going to be possibly unseeable. I had mentioned last time that I wanted to start doing some of the Care of Magical Creatures charm bracelet charms for future ornaments for a tiny Christmas tree that I have for Christmas, because that's adorable sounding. And to do each one, you have to complete something. You have to do, it's like getting a badge in Girl Scouts, if you will. So I'm gonna walk, it's this big, so I'm gonna walk it up to the camera so you guys can really see it. So hold on a second. So this is my first one. It is a unicorn horn. I have it on a little tiny loop, metal loop, a jump ring, if you will, if you are a drawing maker, or if you make stitch markers for that matter. So to complete this, I had to believe in unicorns. So I think that's totally possible, you know. Noah might have forgot them on the ark. No, I'm just kidding. But, you know, it could be out there. Why not? So I believe in unicorns, and I knit this little horn. It was harder than I thought. My fingers were very sore by the end of it because it's so tiny and itty bitty. But first one done, you know, a million more to go. But I'm pretty excited about it. I think it's really cute. So excited to show you guys more of these in the future. Okay, we're losing light fast, so I'm trying to hurry. The sun is pretty much down at this point. I apologize. This is not my normal filming light situation, but as fall happens, so will this. So I gotta adjust. I do have more. There's like stuff everywhere. Just ignore it. I do have more photos for you guys. I have this tiny hexapuff from yarn that I spun. I believe I did show you this yarn. So it is some yarn that I got at the Southern Illinois Fiber Festival I went to several months back. I think it's a little bit wool, a little bit alpaca, but I don't know all the stuff off the top of my head because it's been quite a while since I've spun it. But one little chubby hexapuff. And now for the FO you've all been waiting for since forever. My cardigan is done. Say what? I know, for real. So, this Guinea cardigan, Guinea or Ginny, you say it how you want to say it, but I'm buttoning the button so you can see it all closed up. It's a little bit easier to look at that way. I should have done this before, but I didn't honestly think about it, so there. I was going to add the pockets, but then I decided I didn't really want to add pockets because, well, for one, I didn't really like how they were going to be constructed. You make them separately instead of picking up stitches, and then you sew them on, which wasn't really how I wanted to do it. And I realized if I did want to do it, I'd want to do it in the color that that section is in, which is not the color of yarn I have. So in the future, I may order more because it's a really beautiful color that I would love to have more of. I don't see why not. I don't think it's discontinued. They did discontinue about half the yarn colors that I'm using, or at least put them on sale. So I thought that might be discontinued, but you know what? Now that I think of it, maybe not. So in order to qualify for detention, because it was pretty close to done the last time you guys saw it, I actually closed up the bottom buttonhole. So there used to be a button way down here, which was way too close to the bottom, because I don't know, I thought that was a good idea, but it was right here. I took that buttonhole out, I sewed it up, can't tell it was there ever. I removed the button, which I now have a backup button in case I lose a button, which is good, and you can't tell where that was either, so that worked out great. But, oops, sorry, unbuttoning itself. Oh, bye. But here is my finished sweater. Da, 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 da. Sweater, 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 sweater. The back looks awesome. I loved how everything turned out. It's super, super cozy. The arms are a smidge tight, but overall, it's just super comfy. The day that I finished it and I took pictures of it for the web, I ended up wearing it for like the rest of the day almost, for like the next 6 hours. I almost took it to a birthday party I was going to this weekend because it was going to be a little chilly, but then I was like, I'm not going to need a cardigan. I totally needed a cardigan. I should have just taken it with me. My brain knew. I thought, you're being a show-off, but seriously, my brain just knew I was going to need a cardigan. So, this lighter green color, it's wasabi colored, I think. Or the colors on the bottom of your screen, if I'm wrong. Is the one that I would want to make the pockets in, since that's where they're at. This light yellow would not quite make sense on that color of green. I mean, it kind of would, but it kind of wouldn't. And I don't really want to do it. So I don't want to do it in that color. I mean, I do want pockets eventually, I think. But overall, the fit's okay. The center is really boxy, and the sleeves are really snug. I was talking to someone on Instagram about the same sweater, and she said that her sleeves were so tight she couldn't put them on. So I don't know if that's a design defect or a person defect, or we're just picking the wrong sizes for our bodies. It's okay. It's totally a thing. I learned a lot in my Fit to Flatter class about picking the right size of sweater and how to make sure that size becomes the right size, because body shapes and all sorts of stuff. But, yes. So, this sweater is not the right size for me because I did it before. I knew all of that interesting information. But it is a pretty fantastic sweater. I love it a lot. I love it a lot, a lot, a lot. I just want to wear it all the time now. So, now that you guys have seen it, I guess I can wear it out of the house, which I haven't done yet. I will have you know. I didn't want anyone to see me before you guys had to see my sweater. And if you want to see pictures of me wearing it, you can check out my Instagram, which even if you don't have a smartphone, you can see Instagram. If you go to instagram.com/eviltwin2 with 2 N's, or if you just look me up on there, you can see it's pretty recent pictures that I've taken. So that is going along. Those are all of my FOs. I don't have any stash enhancements, but I did win a prize that finally arrived. So, I don't know if you guys have heard of this real classy guy named Josh Ricks of the Sort of Knitter podcast, but he's also of Geoknitric Designs. He has some pretty amazing patterns out there, but I have a signed picture of him now because I won one of his contests. And it says, "Happy knitting, Josh Ricks." I'm going to zoom in, you know I am. So there he is in all of his knitting glory with probably one of the shawls he's designed. And there's the signature. Very sweet of him. I did not win a picture of Josh Ricks. It just came with my prize, but apparently this is a good enough prize. I mean, this is all I need, right? No, but I did get the rest of the stuff. I got this fantastic bag, which is what my Easy Leaves scarf was in. This is a bag that I will tell you who made it on the bottom of your screen, because I don't have the name. The tag just says Lindsay on it, so that's not very helpful when I'm trying to tell you guys this stuff. It has a front pocket where you put what project you're working on in it, and what needles, and what day you started it, and all that good stuff. I haven't marked on mine yet because I wanted to show you guys the clean ones. So here these are. They're like business cards, and you can put all the information for your project on there. So if I knew a project was going to be living in this bag for a long time, I would definitely use one of these. It came with 2. See? The drawstring is not on both sides. It's on one side, and then you just shrink it down. Look at that. It's amazing. I've taken it several places already. It's super cute. I love it super much. I have been knitting and spinning a lot this year, and I have some totals for you. Let me pull those up really quick so I can tell you what they are, because I'm going to tell you some more about it in a second here. There was people do different types of like races. There's Tour de Fleece, which isn't really like a footage race. People do the one that the Knit Girls do, which I totally blinked on the name of, where you try to get up to a 5K. But I had told myself that I would like to knit and spin a 5K's worth of yarn in both areas, or 5 miles worth. So here is where I am. Now that it's September and we're getting close to the end, I might really push myself, but let me just tell you. So I have knit 4.32 miles this year. What? It's super crazy, I know. And I have spun 3.47 miles this year. So I'm getting close. I'm not there yet. But I'm hoping to do a lot more spinning really soon. And my knitting is just down by 0.7 of a mile. So I'm doing my sweater, and I'm trying to do lots of the yardage crafts right now. I'm just kind of like personal goals, you know? Gotta hit 5 miles. 5 miles in each would be excellent. 5 miles in either one would be superb, especially considering I just got my spinning wheel last December. So I have pretty much spun 3.42 miles on it since I got it. It's kind of cool to see the history, like how much over time have I spun on it. So what I might do is I might put that on my, put that somewhere. So I can be like, this spinning wheel has 17 miles on it, you know, and stuff like that. That's kind of cool, right? So that's going swimmingly. And now for what makes me happy. So the first thing is being able to do my job. I wasn't sure if I'd have the skills. I think I've got the skills so far. Really enjoying it. It's going really well. My second one is with my new schedule. It works out. The boyfriend and I are able to go on lunch dates. So we have gone on a date every Monday so far, which is kind of awesome. Or, well, not every Monday. It was a Monday and like a Thursday, but still pretty awesome. My third one is getting to cast on all of the things, even if they aren't done yet. It feels so good to cast on, even if your long tail cast on was too short. It happens. But anyway, my weekend with Jessica, probably number 4, because that was super, super, super awesome. And then my 5th one is the 1st of September, because the 1st of September was my brother's birthday, and he's an awesome person. And it was also the beginning of Harry Potter Knit Crochet House Cup term. Brother's more important, and I'm really happy that he has had a birthday. So that is that, if you will. So hopefully I'll have some more FOs for y'all next week. Cross your fingers and your toes. And thanks for hanging out with me and talking to me. And wherever you are, whatever knitting motivation you have, whether it's points or pints of ice cream or just the overall effect of it going on. I don't know what does that mean? I'm getting too tired to talk. That's what it means. My name is Rebecca, and I'll knit with you. Bye, guys.